Friday Night Flies, take it away, Scotty Holmes.
Okay, well, I was just playing around there. Scotty Holmes, Friday Night Flies. It's April 1st, 2016. Did you play any April Fool's jokes this morning? No.
God, I just couldn't come up with one good enough that I could get anybody with, because I don't know what it is. People think I'm already a big joker, but I just couldn't come up with one that would have got anybody.
Yeah, I tried this morning, but it didn't work. No one believed me. My guys were just not having it.
Yeah, you're just not a very believable guy.
You think? Yeah. So yeah, Scotty the Boldest is here. I'm not sure whether we're going to tie another fly. They're really itching to go fishing right now. Ivy Lake is. Shh.
You didn't just say that out loud.
Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. The boys are anxious to go do some lake fishing tonight, and
they're going to play that back now. You know that.
Yeah,
everybody.
Obviously,
the 3 million people that are watching already.
They know where you're going now. It's not.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to find us with the big decals all over our trucks.
Yeah.
So anyhow, what are you tying for us?
Well, tonight we're going to tie a San Juan Worm. This is the Czech style San Juan Worm. And the reason I say that is when Merrick was in Czech, he picked up a product that he saw there, and it's called Squirmy Worms. I'll show you the package in a bit. And they're a very, very supple, elasticy, squishy product. That's why they're called Squirmy Worms.
You're on the lower camera.
Yeah, what? I'm on the upper camera.
No, you're on the lower camera.
I'm on the lower camera? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even know. I thought I was on the upper camera. Okay. Well, so anyways, you'll see it. So this is the product right there. Squirmy Worms. They're out of Czech, so at this point right now, I'm not sure of anywhere in Canada to get them, but we're definitely working on trying to figure that out. So yeah,
at Walmart.
Well, you know what? Okay, so here is another example of something that you could use as a squirmy worm. This is a hair tie. This is a big one. I couldn't find a small one. My daughter has these, and they come in like 3 different sizes. This is the biggest size, but this stuff has the same elasticity to it, but the difference is you can tie this off on and off a lot easier. This stuff here tends to, if you try to put a really tight wrap to it, it tends to cut into the material. And I don't know if you can see, like if you notice here on the package, this is the way that they're recommending that you tie this pattern. However, I'm not paying any attention. Actually, it's not me. Merrick was the one that figured this out and tried it. He was fishing, I'm not sure where he was fishing, but he was grayling fishing, and he was killing it with the bead pattern, with the bead in the middle. He was using a jig bead because it had the slot in the back and it enabled the worm to move a little bit more. But I figured, what the heck, this has got to be just as good. So I mean, I fished it. I haven't had any success with it. I've only been doing a little bit of river fishing, more like casting practice, I'd have to say, Scotty, on the river these days.
Yeah,
it's not.
Last 2-3 days,
they haven't been so good. Okay, so that being said, I'm gonna get to it. And the hardest part of this fly, guys, and girls, is to get this piece of squirmy worm through the bead. And I'm not going to be able to do it right in front of the camera. I doubt. I'm not going to be able to do it way out there. I won't be able to see. But
maybe you can explain how you got it on.
Well, okay. So the key to this is what you really have to do is you just need to get the squirmy worm to the thick side or the bigger opening on the bead. And all I'm really going to do is just sort of pinch it and hold it there. And then I've got 2 different needles that I've used. Both of them are bent. You can sort of see that. This one's sort of bent in the middle, and then this one here is bent right on the end. And just depending on how it's going, I might want something a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. Sometimes it goes really quick. And sometimes
in other words, you use something to force it through there.
Yeah, you know, and you're gonna have to do it yourself. You have to figure that out. I mean, it's
the best method that works for you.
Exactly.
Have you ever tried putting some tying thread through the bead in a loop, and then just grab the tip and pull it through?
At this point, no, but like, watch. So all I've done is I've just poked it through with the needle,
And now I have a little tip showing through. Can you see that, Scotty?
Put your fingers right in there. There you go.
Okay. So that little piece is poking through. So I'm going to just try to pull it. And even pull.
Hey, Scotty, your last name? Lebolde. U.S.
Okay, so now what I've done is I've just pulled on it, left the needle in there. Doesn't matter if the needle actually goes into the little squirmy worm. That doesn't really matter. And now that it's on there, or that it's through the bead, we can just pull that needle out of there. Boom.
Awesome.
Done. Just like
You
that.
didn't think that was going to happen, did you?
Well, I'll tell you this.
Scott came
What did
prepared.
I have? I have one ready to go because I was going to do that for about another minute, and then I was going to go, okay, well,
That's what you got to do.
yeah, that's
So-
what you got to do. Do
so
that,
it-
but
so
I
it
can't
does
do
work.
it right now. So
It does work.
we did do it. Yeah, we did do it. So, and I'll tell you this. I tied one like Merrick has it, and I like it with his jig head bead with the slot in the back.
Yeah.
But that was like the simplest thing in the world to do compared to trying to get it through a jig head. Now, maybe if you used your suggestion and use the
Put a-
thread,
put a
yeah,
loop through and
that might work.
force it
He
out.
was doing it with.
But I think that would probably not work because it would end up doubling over on itself, and it'd be too much material to try and get through, and the line would probably just cut.
Yeah.
That it's
Well,
pretty
see,
supple, that
okay,
stuff, right?
So here is my other little trick that I'm going to show you. Is that what I'm going to do next? Is I'm going to put the squirmy worm in my vise. And I'm going to move that bead down there closer. And then I'm going to take my hook. Because the other thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to skewer the worm with your hook.
Ah, so now you got to get your hook through there too.
So now you got to get your hook through there. And the only way to do
Stretch it
that,
Make sure that's tight.
make sure that's tight, is if I
Stretch it out.
make it really thin. Oh, and the other thing, sorry, that you should do, and you should always do this anyways, is you got a pair of pliers. I need to squish the barb on the hook. Squish the barb on the hook. Here in the waters in BC, we're not allowed to fish with barbs anyways. TM Pro barbs are some of the smallest on the market, and they're nothing, no. Here, I'll just squish it in here. I'll just do it there. Okay, I got it. Roughly speaking, it'll work. Enough? Yeah. So again, put the squirmy worm back in the vise. And if you can think of another way to do this, this is the easiest way that I figured out. So we just put it in there, stretch it way out,
Push your hook through.
push your hook through.
It's like you've made a few of these.
Yes, I have. Okay. Now we're coming into the second hardest part of this hook, which is tying it. And like, so from here, basically,
Get your worm hanging out the front how you want it.
yeah, just get your worm sitting the way you want it in terms of the size. And you just keep pulling it to where you get it, till you get where you want it, and then you put it into your vise. I'm going to tighten my vise up because like so. And trimming it, you can do it at the end. It's that simple. Now this is what I was saying earlier, that I wanted my little elastic band. So I have a little elastic band.
Material for it.
Yeah, so that's
Monday?
come on.
Come on, baby.
Okay, we're not going to do that. My other suggestion that I have is that I will just go and, because this worm is constantly in the way, and every time you do a thread wrap, you have to move it.
There you go.
See what I mean? Which is why.
Do you need elastic or something?
Yeah, but I need a little tiny one. I have
What
these
about-
little. I have these little tiny
Do you
elastics.
have
Your hackle plier would be.
hackle pliers? That's what I use at home. Yeah. You have hacksaw?
Yeah, I do, but mine's really tough. And you got one?
Dig deep into the locks.
Yeah, that was the one thing I forgot tonight. Was the
There you go. Yeah. Bingo.
That's better.
Well, I'll make it so you can do it.
But yeah, I just use a little elastic band.
You're making that look difficult, man.
What about these little bands that you gave me last week? No, they're not really stretchy, yeah?
Well,
there we go.
It's a really simple fly, but I mean there is a little bit of a technical element to it because of the fact that you got this squirmy worm in your way.
You can see how squirmy it is.
Oh, I didn't grab your fly vest.
It's okay. I'll kill you later.
And all you're trying to do here is build up enough of a thread dam so that the bead doesn't move, and the bead is going to hold the squirmy worm.
So it doesn't fall right off the hook.
So it doesn't fall right off. Well, they don't pull through that thing easy. It's hard to get it through. I mean, it's like you have to stretch it. And then we're just going to add a little bit of dubbing.
We say, no, it must be us. We're crazy. We're just picky. But the problem is our friends and family see it too. And they're concerned. They may or may not say anything. And then what's our response? We attack them. Well, you won't never be happy upon them. I finally know what I want. And you can't accept it.
Doing a very good job.
Okay. And we're going to move it back. Okay, yeah, it's going to be there. Perfect. Now we're going to have to get a whip to, or
Half hitch around all that.
a half hitch over all of this. Another half hitch. You could put a little head cement on there if you wanted. That was the only thing I was worried about. See,
Well,
stuff
it sticks to itself.
Wow, that's kind of cool, man.
It adheres.
Yeah, like it's such weird stuff. And then I'm gonna tie it on in the front. That's the other thing. You can just use a little bit of thread. Don't tie it tight. I'm just binding it out of the way. That's what I should have done before. But was having
issues.
having issues. Yeah, I'm sick. That's what I'll use. I'm sick today, and I'm having issues.
Sick and having issues.
Sick of having issues. Sick and having issues.
Sick of having issues.
Yes, both. Sick and sick of having issues.
I just want to go fishing, man. How many flies are we tying tonight? One. Okay. But you're tying one though too, right? Okay. One. You got 15 minutes. Let's just say it was a long day here in the sport shop. She'd been busy.
Yeah, sunny days. Everybody
And I
wants to
didn't
get out there.
Yeah, and I didn't get any of those things. You look like you got sunburned today.
I think I did.
You did.
I had my
Pretty easy to
rolled
get sunburned out there today. It was 27 in my backyard when I got home
yeah.
tonight. Like, it's March.
27?
And you got the
27.
virgin skin, but yeah, oh yeah, my
Oh,
forearms
yeah.
are red.
Okay, so now we'll unbind the fly. And as I said, be careful because this stuff will just sort of get right into it. There we go. Okay.
Perfect. Very nice. I like.
There you go.
So that's the San Juan Worm Czech style. And
If you wanted to, you
can't
could-
move the vise around like you just did.
Is that all right? Can you still see it? I
Yeah,
had
we can
moved it
still see it.
anyways, right? Should still be in focus. So yeah, that you could burn the little ends a bit. You can trim it back, make it as long as you want. These pieces come in pretty long pieces. I'll show you that real quick. So
Yeah, man. That's like a quarter-mile long.
yeah, you're gonna get, you know, depends on how long you want your worms. You could probably get 2-3 worms out of each
What's a
one.
bag of that stuff worth? Is it pretty
I
expensive?
think it was $4.50.
Peanuts, man.
$4.50, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. And if you want, you can go and pick out a little bit of the stubbing. Like I don't really want it to be.
Yeah, you don't want to knock off one of them half hitches either. Yeah,
It's fine. If you want, just throw on a little bit of glue.
You
You know, throw a little bit of UV resin on both sides of it too. You can do that. That's a lot simpler than tying it. Like just the UV resin does pop off.
Yeah,
it does. It's gonna go on there. It's gonna be fine. Then all of a sudden, it's not gonna be there anymore. It's gonna be like my fishing rod on my
let's go up
ATV.
top here. We're signing out.
Okay. So well, a little bit of trials and tribulations. Like I said, it's a fidgety fly. It's not hard to tie. Get things out of your way.
I'm pretty anxious to try that fly, man. I'll be honest with you. I think that would be for early season. You get a little bit of color in the water because it's fresh. It's just about started.
Yep.
I can see that working like a hot damn.
Well, I mean, worms work. Worms do work. They work in lakes. They work in rivers. They work in general, right? I haven't fished with worms. Actually, that's not true. Reese and I were fishing with worms last year on mosquito lake. So there you go.
You gotta get a hook somehow. You gotta get a hook.
Well, Friday Night Flies, April 1st. Get out and do some fishing. I know the boys are going tonight, and I was earlier this week. It's going to be some lake fishing for the next little bit for us, I think. Yeah.
Unless there's a temperature changes, yeah.
Unless the temperature changes, yeah. Unless the temperature changes, we're going to be doing some lake fishing. But I'm looking forward to that too. Nothing like being
the
early season pontoon boating is always lots of fun. You know, I love it.
There's some big fish around.
Okay, well, Scotty Holmes, Big Bad Brad, Scotty the Boulder. Until next time, bang!